Over the last 20 years, I've worked across livestock and red meat research, development and extension within university, government and industry sectors, and more recently entered the private sector as an independent consultant. Fortunately, in South Australia, we have a network of consultants, and I'll be actually representing this group today. The South Australian Livestock Consultants Group, one of the first groups to participate in the advisor forums within this project. So I'll be drawing on a lot of information that we got from that today. As well as that, Bruce Hancock is in our team, and he leads one of the project trials, and we've got another 3 other people here today representing. So I guess the South Australian Livestock Consultant members are all independent consultants. We're not linked to product sales. That's one of our things that we market ourselves on. And we meet twice a year and communicate regularly via emails, as well as training and networking opportunities. Our members work one-on-one with producers, as well as providing group training for private and industry programs. And we're currently in the process of developing a technical update, which is going to be targeted at around about 50 people across the state who are involved in livestock advisory services, both public, industry and private sectors, research or producer group coordination roles. So I guess what are some of the barriers for a sole provider? The first one is a fear of sharing information freely across private, government, research and industry sectors. Each sector tends to develop their own training programs, and we end up with heaps of smaller programs competing in the marketplace with different price tags and quality of delivery. There's also a lot of market confusion regarding which services to purchase and what their value will be, and that's already been mentioned this morning. Historically, we've had subsidised or free programs, and while some producers are happy to pay the full cost, they need to know that it will be worthwhile. It takes a long time for on-farm changes to translate into return, and sometimes it takes several types of training before adoption occurs. For example, awareness, which we've had a lot of, through to skill development, which is what we need more of now. The access and cost of relevant training and continuing education is particularly hard as a sole provider. We spend heaps and heaps of time going to field days, attending networking events, and quite often we're actually attending these at the same time as our producer colleagues to just pick up snippets of information here and snippets of information there. And especially as a new consultant, it's often difficult to know where to find the information and from what source. We also probably need to spend more time in professional development regarding how to get the message across more effectively for better adoption. The tendering process, I guess, as a sole provider, is often hard. We're competing with larger organisations. It's harder for the RDCs to actually contact, every sole provider. So we also, as well as that, we're also asked to come to and give our input on industry issues. And again, it takes a lot of time for us, so we can attend lots and lots of stuff and spend whole weeks that's unpaid work, which I think is why I guess the private, particularly sole providers, find it hard to do more training. So how can these issues actually be addressed? There is a need for increased connectivity between research, development and extension, and a demonstration of the benefits of collaboration. Extension and communications need to be built into R&D programs and involve consultants from day one, and preferably as being paid, not just offering, what do you think about this? Collaboration between research, university, industry and consultants would enable more relevant targeted programs to be developed and better resource allocation to all parties within a project, rather than smaller amounts of dollars being scattered into multiple projects with less impact, as has been in the case in the past. So there needs to be an appropriate recognition of skills and roles. Producers want to hear from the researchers, but sometimes the researchers actually need assistance from extension and advisory type people, how to package that information so that it's more easily able to be adopted. Demonstration of the the value proposition can only be done through inbuilt monitoring and evaluation, and in particularly financial and production benchmarking of key performance indicators. This process obviously takes time, and I think this is an area that needs initial support and possibly through initial subsidies of programs, because getting people involved and demonstrating that value proposition, as we've talked about this morning already, is really, really difficult. Provision by RDCs of technical updates to consultants, as well as working with quality training providers to assist consultants with training and professional development, is extremely important. Consultants are happy to pay to attend fewer, more valuable training days where they can get targeted information from a range of various sources. So, we want to see AWI, MLA, the CRCs all working together. As I said, we can spend hours going to one training program here, one there. We'd like to see all in one spot, a one-stop shop to provide that, as opposed to having attend multiple information days. Support for coordination roles within consultant networks. As I mentioned, we're part of the South Australian Livestock Consultancy team. We're trying to address some of the issues by having that network, but still someone needs to drive it, and we're doing that in our own time currently. I think that would also assist with developing a register of skills and competencies, so that it's a go-to person. So RDCs, regarding sort of tendering process, the RDCs can come to a contact person within that team of people and see what the competencies and skills or training needs are in that program, within that network. Accreditation and clear pathways for training for new and old consultants would also help build credibility and trust across the private sector and that willingness to pay for service. And most importantly, is for research, development and extension across the industry to collaborate and work as a team. Together, everyone achieves more. Thank you.